Hi, I'm Alex, and welcome to Reader Rambles, a weekly podcast for book lovers where I ramble about bookish topics and I help readers navigate life. This is episode 14, and there was no episode last week because my audio sounded like I was underwater, and I don't know why. Audio is just weird sometimes, but we're gonna do this again. I am kind of mad that happened because it was still a good episode. So let's get started. I've been on a social media break for over a week now, and actually I feel so great about it. I'm trying to combat the addiction part where I just feel the need to check my phone because I'm bored and I can't just sit with my thoughts. And so I'm just trying to do better with that. I've just felt a lot of anxiety over the last couple weeks and months because still people can't respect me after I've literally put out a bunch of posts. I put out a video. I just feel like it's obviously it's never going to go away, but I hate the fact that I can't just talk about being trans in peace and not have everything be involved with that. So this episode was supposed to be unpopular bookish opinions. I asked you over on Instagram, and then I felt a wave of anxiety and just was like, I never want to go on this app ever again. Actually, never want to, because somebody decided that they would tell me about 2 trans books that they didn't like, which is fine, but that's not what I was asking, and I don't think it's appropriate to do that to a trans person. And just felt targeted, basically, like, let me only give Alex something about being trans, when I've literally said a million freaking times that I don't want to talk about being trans. It's not a comfortable situation for me to talk about. There are some people out there who are trans and they're happy about it and they talk about it. So you can go and find them and tell them about trans books that you didn't like. But I'm a sensitive person and I just use social media as a safe space and sometimes an escape, and I can't really do that anymore. And that is why I never talk about being trans, because I don't want to subject myself and hurt my mental health. And so that's why I literally don't want to go on Instagram anymore, which sucks because I love Instagram. It's one of my favorite platforms. And so I don't know really what I'm going to do from here. Like, I know I'll never be able to escape those kind of questions and comments, but I just get annoyed because I feel like I say it so much. And I'm sure everybody else might also be annoyed by this, that like, it's like every episode I start off with this, or it's like every month that I have to be like, hey, stop it. Stop, please, because I've already mentioned this like a million times. And granted, I know not everybody's going to be listening and engaging with my content, so you might have missed it, but like, I don't know, you can still do it. I still have the boundaries posts up, so I had to make another Instagram post being like, hey, stop. Literally stop doing this to me because I will quit. This is how I will quit. And I don't want to quit, but sometimes it's like for my own boundaries and mental health, I'm like, I don't want to talk about being trans all the time because I don't like it personally. I'm not somebody who's proud of being trans. I have my own insecurities, and I don't think I'm the person to come to when you're asking for positive trans representation. I'll just be honest. Like, I need to work through my problems, and I don't feel like I should help other people or be the spokesperson for the trans community, because we're not a monolith. Some of us will be open to that, but I just feel like I've said it a million times and people still don't listen. It's like it goes in one ear, out another, or people just still have blatant disrespect for me. And it was annoying. So I was going to have a really good episode talking about the unpopular opinions, and then that happened and I just felt super anxious and didn't want to do it anymore, and then got angry because I can't ever do anything fun without somebody making it about me being trans. So like, don't do that. Stop it. I've said it so many times and I'm fucking tired of saying it. And I'm also tired of having to put disclaimers every time I ask for something, because I know I ask my audience a lot for prompts or for questions and stuff like that. And so now I have to kind of make my content safer for me. So I'm like, well, now I don't want to do Q&As anymore, because I know like I can curate what I get, but I think people forget that I read it. So why would you tell a trans person about 2 trans books you didn't like? I just don't get it. It's more of a thing where it's like, oh, somebody saw an opportunity to tell a trans person something, and I'm sure it wasn't out of malice or anything like that, but I just kind of get annoyed that everything has to be about me being trans, because I just say it all the time. I don't make content about me being trans. I casually talk about it because I'm a trans reviewer, and that is it. That's the line, and that's it. If I am asking for trans things, I will, but now I have to put up more boundaries and try to not have fun anymore because I have to protect myself. I say this all the time, that I don't talk about being trans for my own privacy, and it's not your fucking business, but like, stop, please, just stop. And I'm just tired of it. I'm just so tired of it. So I don't know when I'm going to be back on social media, but I'm having a really good time not being on it. I've been making some TikToks. I'm Pucks and Paperbacks on TikTok if you want to follow me there. I made a couple. I have creative burnout a lot. So like I was on a high where I was making some TikToks and then I stopped, and then the cycle happened again and then I stopped. So I do still have some ideas, but I was just down and anxious about it all. My anxiety feels a little bit better, but anxiety's never going to go away. Like, I'm literally always going to have it. So I'm just trying to cut out the big anxieties in my life. So just wanted to mention that because that's how my week went, and that's why we're talking about book news this week, even though I wanted to do that anyway because I had some topics to talk about. But that's how it's going. Today is Friday, April 22nd. I was debating talking about my current read, but I feel like since people who follow me on Goodreads and the Story Graph already know, I don't think it's really a secret anymore, but I'm only going to say the title and not give you any more context because I have a video going. But let me talk about this really quick because I'm really excited about it. I finished filming my Icebreaker vlog. It was Icebreaker and Game On, and I finished it, and I'm so excited about it. So that video is hopefully going to go up next week. I've been editing it, and I'm just excited and so relieved that I finally finished it. It feels really good because I've been working on it since January, and I'm just happy that it's over. I am reading One Butt Cheek at a Time, Garibaldi's Rants and Raves, number 1, by Amber Kaiser. And that's all I'm gonna say. You'll find out soon enough why I'm reading it. But I've been reading it for like a week, and I always say this, but I can't read during the weeks because I just get so tired. I've had a really long week and I'm just burned out. Not burned out. I'm just tired. It's been a long week for work and just for life, and I'm really happy the weekend is here because I'm tired. But that's kind of it. That's what I'm reading. I thought that I lost my copy of Disability Visibility, which I'm also still currently reading, and I still need to get to my April TBR that I filmed. Well, I filmed the April TBR. I need to get to the books that are in there because I haven't started any of those. I also bought our book club pick, which is Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. You can become a patron to join my book club if you would like. The link is down below. You can pledge $1 and you'll be joined, and it'll be awesome. It's really fun over there, but I need to get to that as well. I'm hoping to have a reading weekend, but I need to edit and do stuff like that. But let's get into the episode. It's probably going to be a little bit shorter, but happy Heartstopper Day. Heartstopper came out today on Netflix. I'm in the US. I don't know about the international folks and all like that, but me and my friend Michelle are hopefully going to watch it together. We just need to figure out the logistics. And tomorrow with my patrons, we're going to watch Turning Red, which I'm excited about. But yay, Heartstopper. I'm very excited about it. I watched the trailer and it actually looked really good and accurate to I have read the whole series. I read volume 1 and 2 physical, and then I read the whole thing in a webtoon. I haven't reread them since, but I have a pretty good memory when it comes to books. I've also been watching How to Train Your Gavin, and he did a video where he read the Heartstopper books again, so it was a good refresher. I still have to finish the video, but I like that he did that because then I don't really have to go back and read them. Not that I don't want to, but I still have other books that I really need to prioritize. So yay, Heartstopper is awesome. I'm excited to watch it. Don't comment any spoilers, please, because I don't know when we're going to get to watch it, but hopefully it'll be sometime this weekend or next week. I'm excited, and I don't really watch book to movie adaptations a lot, or just book adaptations in general. I have a whole episode talking about my favorite book to movie adaptations, so you can go and listen to that if you haven't, but I talk about my favorites there, and I just am not a big movie or TV watcher, but I would like to watch it if I'm watching it with somebody, because then I can actually hold my attention. And I want to talk about this one adaptation that I didn't know happened. I'm just always out of the loop in TV and movie news because I'm not a big watcher of them. There was this book, Panic by Lauren Oliver. I really enjoyed it. It has a game element. I mentioned it in my icebreaker vlog, and then I looked it up. There's a TV series on Amazon Prime, and I might watch it because I actually really liked that book when I read it. It is a game. I can't really remember most of it. I remember certain parts, but I forget what the game element is, but it's a pretty dangerous one, but they're trying to get money or something like that. Don't quote me because I'm not like 100% because I read it in like 2014, but let's see what it actually says. So this is on Entertainment Weekly, and it says, EW has your exclusive first look at Amazon Prime Video's new YA series adapted from Lauren Oliver's best-selling novel about graduating seniors who participate in a high-stakes life-or-death game of challenges for prize money that they see is the only way out of their small town. But this year, the rules have changed. The pot of money is larger than ever, and the game has become even more dangerous. As the players come face to face with their deepest, darkest fears, they'll be forced to decide how much they are willing to risk in order to win. I really enjoyed it when I read it, and it's a really fun read. So I'm gonna watch it, hopefully. I was just talking to my friend Michelle about this, and I was saying how I want to watch things and then I just never do. I've been wanting to watch Better Nate Than Ever. It's on Disney Plus, and Joshua Bassett's in it. I really like him and I want to watch it. And I keep opening Disney Plus to watch it, and then I go on YouTube and I'm like, oh, I missed this video. Let me watch this. And it's like I'm procrastinating watching it, and I don't know why. I'm like, this is why I don't watch TV and movies, because of this. I don't know why I procrastinate it, because I want to watch it. I feel like I just kind of want to watch YouTube instead. I don't know why. I just do. Anyway, I hope to watch that. Maybe I'll watch one episode of it and see how I feel about it. But I wanted to talk about some other news. So I talked about Heartstopper. The trailer was really good, but I wanted to talk about some other book news. And this is Turtles All the Way Down is being adapted. And I found this out because Jesse the Reader has a segment on Epic Reads and its epic adaptations. He talks about news and all. And he said that Turtles All the Way Down is being adapted by HBO Max, I believe. And honestly, good for him, because I just love John Green and he deserves everything. But I actually didn't like Turtles All the Way Down because I thought that it didn't really have a plot. That was my one critique of it. But I'm excited to have an adaptation of a book with mental health representation. This has OCD and anxiety. And he is going to be the executive producer on it, so that's good. I know he didn't get that for Looking for Alaska, so I'm happy for him. But I'm excited for this. I'm just happy for him. And like I talked about before, he is hopefully writing a new book. He talked about it on TikTok, but this is exciting. Oh, it says Turtles All the Way Down tackles anxiety through its 17-year-old protagonist, Asa Holmes. I don't remember it having... I thought that she had OCD. Well, I mean, obviously she can have both, but... Okay, yeah, she does have OCD too. Cool. I'm just excited for John Green. I was really happy when I heard this. And yeah, that's kind of it for that. Also, I'll have all the links down below if you want to look up everything and just learn a little bit more. Next, let's talk about Nimona being adapted by Netflix, and it is going to be an animated movie. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I really enjoyed Nimona when I read it in college. It was a really fun read. It is about shape-shifting, and I'm just so excited to see all of the animations. And as an editor, I love just seeing films and how editing is done and all of that, just to help me in my own editing style. But also, I just love watching films for that reason. I love it. And so let's talk about this. The article I found was from Book Riot, and basically what happened is Blue Sky Studios was supposed to adapt it. 2 years later, Disney said no. Disney pushed back against the same-sex kiss in the movie, and so now it is being adapted by Annapurna and Netflix. So it's going to be an animated movie. It stars Chloe Grace Moretz as Nimona, and Eugene Liang from the Try Guys is going to be Ambrosius Goldenloin. I'm so excited for Eugene. I am a big watcher of the Try Guys, and he hasn't been in a lot of episodes lately, and I saw that there was like a podcast where he says he's working on some projects, including a book, and I believe that this might be one of those projects, and honestly, good for him. I love him. He is so funny, and I'm just really happy for him. This is awesome, and I'm just so excited. I'm just excited for an animated movie, and I said this in the last episode that I had a scrap, but I don't know if I know any animated movies from books. I mean, I don't personally. I'm sure this isn't like the first time. Maybe like How to Train Your Dragon and stuff like that, like maybe some kids books, but this is fun. I'm really excited. And go Netflix and fuck Disney for being homophobic. As always. They always are. It's so annoying. But that was a fun one that I was excited about. And then I wanted to talk about Sarah Dessen. Her book Along for the Ride is being adapted, which I didn't really know about. I've only read Keeping the Moon, and I think that's what it's called. And that is all I've read from Sarah Dessen. But I want to read that because I have a challenge in the Book Riot Read Harder challenge, I believe. It's either that or Pop Sugar. I always get them confused. Penguin Teen had a post on March 20th, and it said movie news alert. Is it April yet? And it's just talking about Sarah Dessen and Along for the Ride being adapted. And in last week's episode, I actually watched the trailer, and it was good. It looks like it's like a bad boy meets good girl situation. Sarah Dessen writes like that. But I'm excited because the trailer actually looked cool. And so I would like to watch it. Who knows when I'll actually get around to it unless I do a watch party. Like maybe that'll happen. But yeah, that's the book news. There's also The Summer I Turned Pretty. I don't think that there has been a date for that yet. Yes, a date has not been set, but I thought Jenny posted saying that there will be a date soon, so that's good for us. But I'm excited. I actually really liked that series. My friend Sabrina and I, we bonded over that series because she hated it. She hated the main character so much, but I remembered messaging her as soon as it was announced that it was going to be a movie. We were laughing about it, and I was just so I'm just happy for Jenny Han. If you don't know, she's one of my favorite authors, and I just want everything for her. But I also want her to write more books. I miss her. But I'm excited for this. Yeah, that's kind of it with the book adaptation news. This is a short episode, but I hope everybody enjoys watching Heartstopper this weekend, or just whenever you get around to it. Let me know if there's any book adaptation news that you have heard of that you would like me to know about. Comment it down below in the YouTube video. Hopefully this is going to be a video on Spotify. I'm trying. Like I said, I'm a one-man show. I have to do all the editing and things for this podcast. I'm toying with the idea of doing a bi-weekly podcast instead to make it a little bit easier for me, because my weekends are kind of consumed with the podcast and I want to not fall out of love with it. So that's it for me today. If you have any topic suggestions, you can leave them down below in the form. I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Thank you for listening. You can follow me on Instagram at Pucks and Paperbacks, even though I'm not on it. And I have a YouTube channel, Pucks and Paperbacks, if you want to follow that. If you're on Apple Podcast or Spotify, please rate this podcast. I would really appreciate it. And if you're on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe for episodes whenever. They're coming. Goodbye.